Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend D.G. Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Face it, Tigers, you've hit the jackpot.
Indeed, friends, it's another end of the month. You know what that means. Australia has invaded. That is right. Every time. All right, kids. You know me. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, on these wild things, the High Priest of Conchu himself, Mr. Toy. It is.
Hello, everybody. This is Ray, returning for another fantastic journey into the life of Ben Reilly. Can't wait, Phil, as always.
Oh, yeah. And our new friend, he's been coming in hot. All right. Dave from the Signal of Doom.
Sizzling.
Hey, Phil. Hey, Ray. And not just Ben Reilly, but Kaine. So much information was delivered in this volume, and excited to be here, Phil. And thank you for having me, by the way.
Hey, no problem. Yes, that's the one staple of the Clone Saga. Yeah, lots of info dumps, lots of people lurking on other people.
Can I say something? You know what? I didn't realize until we started reading the Clone Saga. I never realized that it's like one story that gets passed around like a baton through all the different titles.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's like Nightfall or something, but for Spider-Man, you know, like it's
Yes.
I didn't know that actually. And that would have been a challenge, I imagine, at the time to navigate for the writers and artists and everyone else, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you look at it, sometimes people have, the one issue ends and another one picks up and it's not quite as smooth because, yeah, it is. It's like it was basically a weekly book, but every week a different creative team was taking over. So it's like
You could dare say it is the reason why it is why it is what it is. Maybe the lack of consistency and stuff.
Well, that and two, it was all sales numbers because it. I mean, this and like the X-Men stuff were the biggest sellers at Marvel at the time. So the sales department was just like, keep it go, because this was only supposed to be like a 3 to 6 month story, and then they dragged it out to 2 years because the sales department
was it 2 years?
Keep going. We don't care how you do it, just keep it going.
So it was 2 years, the whole thing.
Yeah, like 94 to 96. Yeah.
Wow, because there's like 2 Clone Saga omnibuses, but then there's at least 2 more Ben Reilly ones, which we're into now. Yeah. So it's a lot of comics. Like it's a lot of comics.
Because it was 2 years of like 4 regular Spider-Man books. There was mini series in there. There was
Goes to show you how popular Spider-Man was. Yeah, and is.
Yeah.
What a legendary character to be able to support this. Like I don't think of anyone outside of Batman who could do this other than Spider-Man. Like
I think as Phil said, it's Spider-Man and definitely the X-Men of the 90s.
Yes, the X-Men in their peak, for sure. Yeah. For sure.
Ray, don't roll past it.
Batman, my favorite character.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know.
Batman. Ray, have you seen the movie yet? Have you seen the Batman?
No, I haven't. Did you say it's streaming right now, isn't it?
It's on HBO Max. Yeah.
I'll see it. It's,
look, you'll probably enjoy it. I don't think you'll hate it or anything. Right?
Hey, Hey, you have a day off tomorrow, right?
Yeah, come on, Ray.
I've heard good things about it. So, I'll see it, and people saying, "Oh, they're doing the comparisons between that and Nolan's." I enjoyed the Nolan's trilogy, but
if you like the Nolans, you'll like this. It's not that different.
I want the '60s, but I want the Adam West.
It's nothing like Adam West, man. Well, it's nothing like Adam West, I'm afraid, dude.
Wow.
Couldn't be further from that, actually.
Well, they have to dock a couple of points.
better than the Snyder stuff.
No.
Yes, it is. It is. Yeah, I agree. Well, you know what I saw? You know what I saw today, or over the last couple of days? I saw Ambulance last night, the new Michael Bay movie, and I just watched just before this show. To stay awake, I watched Uncharted as well. Actually,
what is that? Is that
Uncharted's the video game movie?
The Tom Holland.
Yeah, with Mark Wahlberg. Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg. It was better than I expected.
Wasn't that panned? Like, is that?
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
and the
Okay.
first half isn't great. It actually finished quite well, but the
Okay.
ambulance movie with Michael Bay, we quite enjoyed it. Frankly, it was
Okay.
actually pretty enjoyable. Good heist movie, if you like a heist movie.
Never heard of it. Yeah. Do you
Yeah,
see that,
it's
Phil? Or
No, I haven't seen either.
No.
But yeah, I mean, Uncharted. It's like you always, I don't know, you always got to give it a little bit of room because it's like anything based on a video game. I'm like, it's not going to be a high art.
I
Well,
tell you
hang
what,
on.
Phil,
Yep.
whole scenes taken out of the games into the movie to the point where you're like, man, that is actually
Wow.
like they don't normally do that, but
Okay.
whole visual scenes taken out and done quite well, actually. So
Okay.
yeah.
I've got to say as well, Phil. I mean, off the back of what you just said, I did go see Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and I loved it. I loved it.
Oh, really?
I loved one. Yeah,
I love one. One I've seen countless times because
Mm.
Finn loves it now, and so I took Finn over for Sonic 2. First film he's ever seen in the cinemas. Enthralled 2 hours. He was just
excellent.
Enthralled. And I loved Jim Carrey is brilliant. He's so
pretty
funny.
good. Yeah.
he's
No, I want to see Sonic 2. Actually, I enjoyed Sonic 1 a
Definitely see
lot.
it.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah. Well,
You liked
I mean,
it, Phil? Obviously, if you're recommending it.
I haven't seen it, but
No,
no, I'm thinking I need to take my son to see it. Yeah.
Well, if you can imagine, like the comparison is X-Men. So you know how X-Men 1 was pretty cool, but you know how X2 just like broadened the canvas and made it
Sure did.
epic.
Sure did.
Sonic 2 makes it epic. It's good.
Okay. Well, that's cool, man. I mean, Sonic's a great character, so
It's
and,
cool. Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. I actually
yeah.
hot take. I reckon that's one of the most successful video game movies ever, without even looking at box office numbers. I bet you.
You'd be right on the money. It's breaking the record for the best.
I usually am on the money, Ray. I didn't even check Box Office Mojo. That was just off instinct, my friend.
That's true. Yeah. Smashed it. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
But we're not here to talk about Sonic, though.
No, we're not. We're here to deconstruct the Return of Kaine.
All right. So, yeah, this thing was all over the place. I know Dave's having trouble getting through this, but it starts off easy enough. It's like, Kane's back. They're trying to get him into this great game and everything, but it's just
how long had he been out, Phil? Because I'm not up to the bit where he died, but had it been long?
It was ages ago, Phil, since we last saw him, right?
Remember Maximum Clonage, Ray?
Yep.
Yeah, and then we saw his body in Scarlet Spider Unlimited, and then we saw in the flashback they pulled him out behind the scenes there.
Yeah, and I remember Phil saying, you just wait, wait for Kaine to come back, and there are a few other things that like the game to come back. That's come back.
The game's a good idea. I liked the game. I actually think that there were some decent concepts in this 4-parter, and I enjoyed the game. And am I right in saying, before we get into it, but was the chick who's with him, is she a mutant? Like, she just seemed to have mutant power. Yes.
With Kaine?
Yes.
Yeah, I think she is, right, Phil?
I think she is. I forget, did they call
She's
it
got
out?
powers of persuasion, yeah.
I'm trying to remember if we even see her again. We might not even see her.
And telekinetic, and a bit of telekinesis.
Oh, okay.
She has as well.
A bit of everything.
She mentions. Yeah, a bit of everything. I like the start, though, the very first page. What is this? And that's how I was feeling, like, because I started plunging in. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
I was like, I wasn't aware you even died, Kaine, but you're back. Okay.
But again, the pacing in this is just weird because it seems like we're doing it's all across the top of the covers, the Return of Kaine. The first issue, there's not a lot of Ben Reilly, but I'm like, okay, we're setting this up.
Yep.
But then we throw in that Spider-Man skeleton, which
that was a nice little curveball at the end of the issue, because that kind of gives us a little something else to latch onto other than the main issue. One was basically there was a little bit of stuff with Ben Reilly and Jessica. Like there's a little bit of flirting,
bit of flirtatious behavior in the coffee shop. Yeah, I like it.
The Daily Grind, Dave. You would have loved that name.
I love the Daily Grind. I also love the bit where one of them described the Daily Grind as a daily grind. I think it was Ben Reilly at one point. And also the bit where the guy I forget his name, but the guy who's the big guy at the game, when he gives away, I don't know if it's his wife or his girlfriend.
Oh yeah, he gives away.
And I was just like, okay, we're doing this now. I like it.
Some kind of cattle But yeah, I mean, so this issue it just really reestablishes the game because Dave, I'm not sure if you remember through the other past ones, but there was like joystick, and there was an allusion to this game that's being played where
it's been teased before, has it? Right? Okay,
yeah.
Okay,
But we get a lot more of it here.
I like the game. I think the game
yeah,
is a cool
I think
idea,
it's-
and
yeah.
Can I ask a question on I'm reading it in. I'm reading it in the complete Ben Reilly epic, which is page, I think, 230. You see a thing where they say the game, as you well know for years, my colleagues and I are wealthy businessmen. And so there's all these people featured. Do we know who any of these people are? Are they famous people in the Marvel universe? Like, I thought it was Sabretooth for a second, but it wasn't. I was disappointed.
No, I think they just threw in some like random
Generic.
rich people. Yeah.
There was that Phil. There's that I can't remember the guy's name, but he was the mercenary that was after Joystick. So in the previous story, Dave, there's this mercenary. He's kind of like a Punisher or
El Toro Negro.
Yeah, El Toro Negro. So I
was gonna say Shotgun for a second. I thought I love Shotgun.
Yeah, but he's one of the figures featured there. So
okay, well that's cool.
But the others I don't really. The others there's that lady with the she's at the beginning of the episode, the issue as well. So yeah, a few. I think you've got to kind of just jump in. There are all these other figures that are part of the game that we don't know. They're like Z grade. Superheroes or whatever. Yeah.
Well, the only real name we know from the game is the Rhino.
Yes.
Oh, Rhino is he's involved.
I thought that was pretty odd. I mean, whoever is his patron, like they must have swung the big bucks there because he's the only one that you kind of know.
He's enthusiastic as well. Rhino is really hot for this game. He loves it.
Oh, he's like, I'm going to get paid.
Yeah.
I'm going to get the money. Yeah. I love this. Can I just shout out Shannon, I think, and her code name is Muse. The broken arm. And the way she was like had the broken arm through issue after issue was fighting. I'm like, she's fighting with a broken arm, which may not have actually been an injury. Later gets revealed.
Yeah.
That was funny. Like she's getting in physical fights with a fake broken arm.
Mm-hmm.
Does it seem like she had a little super strength maybe because she was at one point she leaps off of something and lands from like
that's right. She lands on that. Yeah,
height.
You're right.
Yeah,
a bit of smoke and mirrors here from her, but there's the burgeoning relationship between her and Kaine. You see, Kaine's just like your typical kind of tortured soul, isn't he? The poor bugger.
Oh yeah.
Very much so. I never realized how tortured until they described it in this. I didn't realize that I always knew that he had a big chip on his shoulder, but he's actually in massive physical pain, which is why he's kind of crazy and pissed off.
And stronger and everything. Yeah.
Because he's degenerating, but for some reason it makes him bigger and stronger than Spider-Man. Because like that's why he gets those psychic flashes. Because that's like his spider sense has mutated and.
Yeah,
pretty cool idea.
Do you know that, Dave? That was pretty cool, isn't it? How everything's like really augmented. Like his premonitions are like way ahead, and I like how he uses the I think you were just doing
Mark
that then.
Kaine,
the Mark of Kaine, but he actually uses his sticky hands to take down
to tear walls down.
Yeah.
To be honest, I thought even though I didn't feel this was the greatest story, I actually found bits of it interesting, including him. There was the most interested I've ever been in Kaine because I don't know a ton about him, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. It's a bit of a deep dive on Kaine, and you kind of understand that he's kind of screwed, basically. Like, there's no redemption for this guy because he's so in pain, completely.
I think also as well, really, like, let's be honest, if you gave him a different costume, like something a little bit better. I know it's kind of semi-iconic now with Kaine because it's, I mean, that's Kaine. But like, if he had a better aesthetic, I think he would have come across a lot better as well. Because you're right, Dave. There's a lot to him. Like, there's a lot of layers to him, and he can be potentially a very interesting character. But he's got this kind of just weird costume that takes you.
Well, I never knew if it was I said to you, Ray, is it a costume or is it his face? I was never 100% sure, and you said no, it's his costume because he takes it off at the end.
Yeah. Well, the artist.
They should have switched up that costume because originally it was like, he showed up and you didn't know who he was. He didn't know he was clone of Spider-Man. So they played up that mystery for months. It's like, who is this mystery person?
Who is this guy lurking in the shadows constantly?
Exactly.
Like.
Yeah.
Of course.
No Judas Traveler, and that was a disappointment. I was looking for him behind every corner and tree. If he's going to turn up, but no.
Judas Traveler. I don't think even Judas knows where he is. So
you get one more appearance, like towards the end of the Clone Saga. One more.
By the way, I'm having JMD Mateus on Signal of Doom in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to put a question to him about Judas Traveler.
I'm sure he's going to.
He might not remember. He might not remember. He might not want to remember.
It was the '90s. We were smoking a lot of dope.
Oh man, we talked to him yesterday about it, like his Justice League stuff. I love talking to that guy. He is so great.
Yeah. Such a nice guy. Such a nice man. Really. Some people, you really feel the warmth and the intelligence. I mean, that's how I'm sure you guys feel talking to me.
Oh,
so,
he's great, and he's written so much stuff because it's like you talked about one thing, and then he mentioned something. You're like, oh yeah, he wrote that too, and it's like it's.
I can imagine he's like
go to his bibliography. You're just going to scroll down the screen for minutes. It's like,
I can imagine he's like kind of Howard Mackie, Phil, when we asked him, and he's going, "Oh, seriously, guys, I don't remember. Like, I've written thousands of stories. It's hard."
He's usually pretty good. I know, like the one time I talked to Mark Wade. Mark Wade was like, "I remember my other people's stuff way more than I remember my own stuff."
Yeah, which you can understand.
Oh
like,
because you read it like as
stuff.
You're churning it out, like especially. Like novelists, I think it's easier for them. But guys churning out a monthly book and doing it on so many books, it's not like your Mark Wades, your Howard Mackies, your James Mateus, your Chuck Dixons. These are guys who are putting out like maybe 5 or 6 books a month at times.
Imagine juggling 5 or 6 stories, and making
the only way to
stories.
The only way to do it, Ray, I think, is you're right, way ahead. That's what Chuck said. You're right, so far ahead so that if the events come, you can move stuff around.
Yeah.
So otherwise, you'd burn out in a year.
Yeah.
I don't know how Chuck Dixon did it. I mean, in the 90s, he was writing Nightwing, Robin, Detective Comics, Birds of Prey, all at the same time.
Why he's the patron saint of Signal of Doom, my friend. He's because he's the machine.
Yeah.
Consistency. No, but it's true. But he's not the only one. James Mateus isn't far away either. He's so prolific. Yeah.
And then you got the likes of like Jed McKay, like now more modern times, is doing a lot of runs as well. Like a lot of these writers do a lot. Like it's amazing.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to cash in while they can, man.
Oh yeah, while the creative juices are flowing as well.
And while the checks are coming in, Ray. Before the phone runs cold.
You know what? You know what I said, Ray? I said I love the Moon Knight show, but I think I like the book even more right now. I think Jed's
the book's fantastic.
Maybe even a little better than the show.
Oh yeah. I mean, because the show is really treading what we kind of already. Yeah. Whereas Jed's really kind of is instilling all the stuff that's been there before, but he's just twisting things a little and making it kind of different. Cool. Yeah.
Ray's doing like about 6 shows a week about Moon Knight. I don't know if you know this, Phil. Like,
I listen. Yeah, he does at least 3 episodes a week on.
I mean, I'm on my Facebook and I'm on my Facebook innocently, looking at cat pictures and up pops Ray's face. Ray's gone live again. I'm like, Jesus, is this guy ever not live? Well, I'm picturing you're going to have it while you're sleeping, Ray, and Ray will you'll be going Mark Spector in his dreams.
Geez, the way I see it, 6 episodes, I'm cashing in while I can. Like it's such a in the fact that it's such an awesome time. Well, once it's over, come like June, it's going to be back to situation normal.
You're going to commit Harry Carey or something, right?
Well, you're going to be good for a while because what is that in May? That Moon Knight Black, White, and Blood miniseries comes out.
Oh yeah, but I mean, comic books are
compared to the TV show.
The TV show is crazy. I mean, like I heard about it with Adelan Rising about their listenership because of the TV show when it just skyrockets. It's fantastic. So just making the most of it. Yeah,
it's just the nature of a game. If you could talk about a TV show, TV show.
And then I just wonder. I should mention it to them. I just wonder how many will hang around after the TV show. Because they do drop off, but which is fine, obviously.
Sure.
But it's such a fun time to see.
But you'll always keep some of them,
hay.
Ray, because you're putting out good content. So you'll never keep 100%, but I always find you do keep about 50 to 70.
Yeah, which would
usually
be fantastic. Yeah, if people are on board and people that don't necessarily read comics, if the TV show has opened their eyes to the comics, then
that's it,
I think for me the TV show has done its job.
Although, can I say this? My only critique, and I was talking about this earlier tonight with someone. I said, "Where's Marlene?"
Yeah, well, you tell me all that. You ask me all the time, Dave. So
I know, but she's conspicuously absent, and you know I am a fan, and I'm kind of searching for her. I'm searching for Marlene.
I'm sure.
Oh, wait a second.
He's like, we got some other woman. She's fully dressed. Where's Marlene?
Yeah, exactly. Where's my Marlene? The blonde buxom Marlene. Now, by the way, I'm looking at this guy who I think is the detective. He's blonde and almost got like a hunchback, and he's got a gun on Muse and Kaine. And is he powered, or is he just got a bad back situation?
I don't know. Again, it's a new character. I think it's just like another one who works for that. Was that James Johnsmeyer or whatever? That rich guy.
Meyer,
I think it's just another one of the employees.
Yeah,
it's really got a bad back. I felt sorry for him.
I know, man.
He's a chiropractor.
Looks worse than Quasimodo, man.
He does. He's now.
You got 3 40-plus-year-old guys here that were just talking about chronic pain.
Exactly. Now, can I say this? In the part 2, that's a great cover with the skull and the spider. Cool. That's a brilliant cover. And I love, you know what I love? I love that Spider-Man logo, that design with that font. I don't know when they started doing that. I assume it was in the 90s.
That newish one. Yeah.
I love that
Sensational Spider-Man. Yeah, that was like a Dan. Was Dan Jurgens doing the art on this?
Yes, he is. I was about to mention.
Too. Yeah.
It's pretty good, and I didn't know that Dan Jurgens did any Spider-Man. So this was I didn't know that.
He dips his toe in a lot of things, doesn't he? Like
he does.
Yeah, but mostly he's mostly known for doing like a ton of Superman over the years.
Superman, Captain America, he's done.
Oh yeah, Capra. Oh yeah,
but you are right. I mean, me personally, I know him as a Superman guy, and but I love the artwork in this, and it's got Klaus Janson, I believe, is on finishes as well. I dug this one. I liked it I thought the artwork going into the coffee shop was really good. Mm-hmm. This probably was one of my favorite issues. In the thing, I for some reason I just enjoyed it. There was a bit of banter at the Daily Grind.
Yeah.
I like the design of the Spider-Man suit with Dan Jurgens drawing it. I thought J. Jonah Jameson looked really good. I just think it's a really strong visual issue.
There's little touches of the more modern Todd Nauk. That artist. I can see that with a lot of Dan Jurgens stuff, and obviously Todd's been probably influenced by it, but especially notable. I think there's that recap of Ben with the smokestack, and the huge half the page is him like in shadow as well. That's a really cool image. So there's some good art here.
Rhino looks really good when he comes in. He comes storming, and that's a great reveal of Rhino.
Rhino, yeah.
Do you have the Marvel Legends figure of Rhino, Ray? I hope you do.
Oh no. I don't have many villains. But
oh come on! But is he really a villain? He's kind of, he's sometimes not 100% a villain. Like, he's a likable rogue.
I would rather get Tombstone than anything like
that. He loves Tombstone.
Tombstone's pretty decent though.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, but Rhino, man, every issue, doesn't matter what comic it is, man. Most of his introduction is like he usually crashes through a wall and it's like, I'm here.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's kind of happy to be there. What about Rhino? I always like he's
especially
really
here. He's getting paid.
He's getting paid. He's making money for once. Like
he's got something happening. The thing with Jurgens, I think this is probably what caused your slight confusion, Dave. Was that he does draw the mask on Kaine, like it's literally a face. It's like it's so
like it's so tight you can see.
So
tight.
It's like
you can see his lips.
Skin tight mask would almost, and so you can even see the scars underneath it, and
you can see him like open his mouth and stuff. Yeah.
But I mean, what this main issue was, so Ben stealing the corpse. I'm trying to figure out. Well, not corpse; it's a skeleton now, isn't it?
And J. Jonah catches him in the act.
Oh, that is funny. That's classic Spider-Man. I know.
I love it. It's like
Jonas like, I knew you were sick, but you're playing with dead bodies.
And Spider-Man webs him in the eyes.
Flipped in the face, yeah.
And he's still yelling at him, even when he's webbed. He's still yelling at him, like shouting and screaming.
Marvel Handbook. Those webs are hard to tear off. Not in the. Yeah,
well,
exactly.
Isn't there? I mean, there is actually a time period, isn't it? Like 4 hours or something, or 1 hour?
Okay.
Yeah, it's I don't know the time period, but it's.
I think the webbing usually dissolves in an hour. Yeah,
an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
So an hour with the webs in your eyes for J. Jonah, a little bit of a lesson for him.
An hour. Yeah, that's a lot.
He would have been so pissed off during that time.
But I love the I mean, there's more of J. Jonah Jameson in this arc as well, which is really cool. There's a bit more involvement, and we see later on who he engages towards the end. But yeah, it's always fun with J. Jonah. Yeah.
You know who I thought that was going to be? I thought that was going to be Eddie Brock. And I thought,
I was wondering who it would be as well.
I thought, are we going to see Venom crash this party? Because that would be fantastic.
No, I think the powers that be have already made a decision to turn a certain decision around already, and they're slowly going back that way.
Yeah,
but no,
right.
Like Dave was saying, like between the different creative teams for each book, it's weird because remember that first issue, like Ben and Jessica, he's like, "Oh, if I had a TV, I'd watch it just to spite you." It almost sounds like he's getting in her face, but then the rest of the issues, he's all like, "Oh, I want to get with her,"
Yeah.
And he calls her my lady after like they've had one kiss. He's like, "Yeah, there's my lady, Jessica." I'm like, "She really a lady after just you puck it on once? That's it? Like, that's all it takes."
Do you mean the scene at the apartment? I mean, I was gonna say, do we know if it was more than a pucker?
Well, we don't know. Good point, Phil, and I like the way you're thinking.
We're going down there. Yeah.
It almost seemed like an innocent kind of flirtation, and then he's like, "Yeah, got the old ball and chain back there,"
He marked his territory. Dave. Come on,
he did, yeah.
But
how about the chick? How about the chick where Sweet Desiree? She looks almost like
she looks
almost like someone in. But she almost that there's a picture I'm looking at right now. It does look like a guy with boob enhancements, like in drag. Like it's not a flattering picture. And there's one guy just checking her out. And he's like, your dress is simply intoxicating, Sweet Desiree. She's like, as is your breath buzz.
Yeah.
But like, it's not the most flattering look. So
no,
like,
but she's
really?
I know what you mean. I think she's meant to be because she's meant to be really all razzle dazzle and really kind of she's studying fashion, all that sort of stuff. She's really into her vanity.
Is she the one who was giving all the attitude to Ben Reilly? Like, you wouldn't understand the.
Oh yeah,
what I was studying and stuff.
On physics or something. She's like, you wouldn't understand me. She's like, oh no, you got to correct this and this. And she's drawn well. She kind of looks like Marilyn Monroe. So
yes, right, she's meant to be like she's meant to be kind of sultry.
I want to say I'm a Claus Janson fan, and I can tell you that's actually a fairly Claus Janson-esque drawing that you'll often see in like a Punisher and stuff. Like it's quite. Okay. I can see here that he was probably doing some finishing. It's a pretty typical picture.
Okay.
From some of the inking he's done. So it's just interesting. He was obviously having a bit of a hand in the art there.
And they were so they're kind of getting together. Isn't this where they're buying or
buying him a TV?
Buying him a TV, have a party. Yeah. This whole thing again. I can't believe because it came up in previous issues. He doesn't have a TV, whatever. I mean, fair enough. Some people don't still these days, but it's a little bit
doesn't
antiquated.
He? Is it because he was anti-TV or?
I thought he was just poor. Is he poor?
He was just poor.
I mean, for the longest time, he was just on the road, going from town to town, and now he's Spider-Man. He's actually just, he actually found the place, but he's like, I don't have much.
How is he making rent in New York City
in a coffee shop
on a daily grind?
On a daily grind, not even
tips, man. Tips.
Theft.
Muggings,
It's the dark side of Spider-Man. But that was interesting. Like they all kind of crashed his apartment. You wouldn't be too thrilled if you came home, Ray, and there was all these people from work in your apartment. And you're like, hey,
I'd say that as a breach of, like personal space. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, I appreciate the gesture, but it's a bit invasive.
But you've also started the party. You're all drinking and boozing it up and really getting into it.
Eating your food from the fridge.
Especially if he had left out like a Spider-Man costume or something.
Yeah.
Checking out the closet or
some porn, maybe. Like some DVDs from the 90s. Might have just been on the counter. He's a single guy.
Lives by himself.
Guy.
I mean, your penchant for keeping an eye on that security is less. You leave it out.
Guy, he's a young man. You got to keep that web shooter clean. Come on.
That's it. Gotta stay fluid. Yeah.
But no, I mean, if that party had been a day later, they might have been like, "Wait, there's a human skeleton in his closet."
Yeah, just hanging in his closet. With a Spider-Man mask on it. Yeah, that's a bit weird. But this issue's the big one as well. It's the first time I guess Ben Reilly sees Kaine up and about, right?
Oh yeah. He's like, I thought you were dead.
So this is like not since I think wasn't it like a courtroom? Phil,
the
last time we saw it,
the trial of Peter Parker, Kaine
Yeah.
killed somebody. Yeah, remember Kaine killed somebody, and they got the fingerprints. But of course, they came back Peter Parker. So
yes, that's where I'm up to actually in my Ready and Clone saga. I've almost finished the trial. It's just coming to the conclusion. So that's actually a pretty good story.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
remember Ray? We went from trial of Peter Parker right into the maximum clonage. So
yes, maximum clonage. Yes.
Cool. I've got to say, I'm feeling Jessica. I'm looking at pictures here. Pretty buxom, nice art. I mean, he could do worse. Morbius could do worse.
I thought you would have liked Muse, Dave.
Hey, it's 90s comics. It's just like TV, man. They don't put a ugly looking woman in any of these.
Yeah, well, I'm all about that, man. And it's like an episode of Mirage Place.
Yeah, I was listening to I want to give a shout out because collective members Inner Demons with Brian Biggie.
Brian Biggie.
And he was talking about in his latest episode about I think it's one of the 90s Ghost Rider things Danny Ketch and his girlfriend, and like she full on looks like a Victoria's Secret model.
Yes, I just looked at that episode.
It's like it's so weird because like she's just so out of place. Like she's totally.
I'm telling you, 90s comics, man. No adult woman was under like a C cup. Come on.
Yeah,
that's true. No, it's true. It's true. Exactly. Like I mean, Mary Jane herself at times. Like,
Todd McFarlane. Oh,
yeah. I'm almost hyperventilating here thinking about some of the stuff I've seen. The things I've seen.
The things I've seen, Jim Lee and all that with the X-Men as well. Like,
Todd McFarlane, man, king of the side boob,
Yeah.
Yes.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
But it's a good issue. I like this issue. I thought it was cool. And you are right, actually. Now that I look at it, she says later, and they're kissing. Yeah, that could definitely lead to more. That's potentially sex, I would say. That's potentially sex.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
I'm gonna say, he's got there, and good for him too. He's been on the road for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, look, everyone's left. He's got a new TV. Like they're both by themselves now. The after, so things are,
Well, hey man, that's a good night, man. He got sex. He got a new TV.
I mean, and he kicks everyone out of his apartment. Go away now. I've got what I need. Like party's over.
But he's got a literal skeleton.
She can stay.
And then he's got a skeleton in his closet. Yeah.
A skeleton. A literal skeleton. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've teased Ray with this before, Dave. Yes, but Jessica has a dark secret which will be delayed in a few months.
Do you know, Dave?
As everyone, no, I don't. But as everyone in the Clone Saga must have a dark secret backstory.
Yeah. Well, she's
I don't know.
Well,
I don't. She's a female clone of Peter Parker.
Oh, jeez.
Having sex with himself.
Oh. But no, because she keeps mentioning this mysterious father.
Oh,
that's right. You're right. There was some sort of you're right. I remember that.
I keep telling you,
like a rogue. Is it like a rogue or something? Is it like a rogue?
Rose?
A rogue, like a rogue in his gallery. Or something?
Is it Phil?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is
Rhino's daughter.
Norman Osborn?
No, I gave Ray a big clue, and it confused the hell out of him.
What was the clue?
Yes, you could say yes. Her father is a rogue, but you don't know his name.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm confused. That's too hard for me.
I'm racking through my rogues gallery now. We all know their names, right? Except
we know Craven's name. I'm like, that's
that's what the first one I was thinking of. Yeah, it's like no, it doesn't work.
Oh my god,
I don't know.
So we're getting a Craven the Hunter movie.
I'm down for it, man. I'm down for it, dude. I'm so down for it.
With
Aaron
Craven without Spider-Man, though, you know.
Yeah. That's the weird part. Well, maybe he will be in it. Maybe they can swing it and have what's his name in it?
Dave, explain this. We're getting a Madam Web movie as well.
Even I'm not excited for
What
that.
And
I get hyped for everything Spider-Man related. Madam Web is when you've tapped out.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm more into Morbius than Madam Web. Come on.
Me too. Me too. And and Craven, I could even then I still think Craven, it needs. I was very excited. Remember, Ray, in the early episodes of Signal, I was all over the Silver and Black movie with Silver Sable and Black Cat. I was very that morphed into the Craven movie because Craven was the enemy in that, and that has morphed into the Craven movie.
I don't know I don't know what Sony's doing now. They're
just milking it.
Well, they're building into a Sinister Six.
I'm down for it. Like, why not, man? Like, they can bring Spider-Man into it. Like, I mean, I think if you can do Morbius and it's made money, I mean, I know it's not well reviewed, but it's made cash.
It's made
hopefully, Craven can be better.
Have you guys seen Morbius?
No,
I haven't actually. Have you?
Have you? Have you said Phil? Yeah, you have, haven't you? Yeah, because you guys reviewed it. I've been told like passionately to just not watch it. To not watch it.
I might see it myself this week.
I want to see it. Yeah,
I kind of want to see it, and partly the reason is I normally go to all these movies with Michelle, but because of COVID, she's become a lot more choosy about what she wants to attend. And I've been busy, but I wouldn't mind seeing it because I'm not expecting much, so it's not like my bar set so high. What did you think of it, Phil? Out of 10?
Out of 10,
5 at least, or
I was gonna say maybe a 6 or 7. I mean, it's not
okay.
Right?
It's not horrible, but I mean, it's Morbius without Spider-Man or anything.
Yeah, that's.
But Morbius is cool, like a vampire.
Is there another? Cool. Can I do a spoiler? Am I allowed to do a spoiler? Because someone told me a spoiler. Can we do
I mean, I don't care. I've seen it, but
okay, good. Well, I just meant for your listeners, but whatever.
Okay.
My colleague at work told me that Blade turns up for a few seconds. Is that right?
What?
Blade?
Really?
No.
See, thank you. Like, that was because I said to him, "Is Blade in it?" And he goes, "Yeah, Blade turns up for like a minute right at the end."
Is your colleague a comic book fan? He probably has no idea what he's talking about.
No, I think he's gotten confused. And
there is an end credit scene with someone, but no, it's not Blade.
Okay.
Well, then I was so disappointed because I got so excited, but I went on the internet and I couldn't see it. I'm thinking, could he be just wrong? And I mean, yes. And
there's people who don't read comics who get stuff wrong. Do you guys remember after the first Avengers movie and we got our first like end credit scene with Thanos?
Yeah.
And there's at least a few people, like I know I go into work and people are like, why was Darkseid in a Marvel movie?
Oh, wow.
and I get that. I mean, it's no big deal. Like this guy means well, but he was getting pumped. And I said, was he was getting pumped up because he's a big Blade fan from the movies, the originals. And I said, how was the guy stacking up next to Wesley? And he goes, nowhere close, not even close.
Oh, you told me about that. I remember you told me about it. You're disappointed like this. I think he'll do really well. Mahershala Ali. I think he'll be great.
Maybe, hopefully. But obviously he's not in this film. So
no.
But see, to me, that's a missed opportunity. Because if I was going to do a Morbius movie and not have Spider-Man, I would have brought Blade into it.
Yeah.
Nah,
like, why not? Like, he's a vampire.
But again, Morbius is so Sony. Maybe Disney doesn't want to drop Blade into that mess.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, it's interesting. But 6 to 7 isn't too bad, Phil.
No, that's a pretty good.
I'm saying it's not horrible, but it's. I'm not.
Is there another big rogue? Is there another big rogue that we would know?
Isn't Vulture there? Vulture.
No, he was cut. He was cut from the film.
Oh, was he cut?
That's the end credit scene.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
But originally he was in the proper movie, and originally Vulture had a scene in the proper film. It got cut, and he's just in the post credits in a really bizarre one, isn't it, Phil? Like he's like, oh wow, I've woken up in like the Sony verse or something.
Well, yeah, they kind of give you the purple skies from Spider-Man No Way Home.
Okay.
I guess Vulture fell through. Yeah, now he's in the Sony verse. Yeah.
Okay. And he's like, "Well, where have I turned up?" or some shit like that. Like,
he meets Morbius at the very end, and he's like, I guess it's like, oh hey, Spider-Man, So it's
yeah.
Like I said, they're building Sinister Six because Morbius
which is
Vulture,
cool.
Yeah,
Which is
Vulture's
cool.
like, hey, I got some guys you should meet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, but like, I don't know if that's strong enough to carry like Sinister Six.
Yeah,
Well, you
and
need
you're gonna,
Spider-Man.
People
you
not
do
non-comic book fans. I don't think they'll.
Sinister Six. You're gonna have to bring in Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to.
One
You
of
have to
them.
make it.
Yeah.
Have you
there's
guys
gonna be
ever
some-
read? I'm sure you have read. It's John Romita Jr. I don't know who the writer is. It's called Spider Hunt. It's I think early 2000s or late 90s. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
graphic
late 90s.
novel.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. I bought it. They put it out in a trade a few years ago. It's actually pretty fun. That could
Okay.
be something you could kind of half base it on. I think
Okay.
Punisher's in there as well. From
Oh,
memory.
Yeah,
Of
Punisher's in
course,
there.
Dave.
I think Shotgun's in there too.
I believe Shotgun does have a big role.
Yeah, no, 'cause there's like a
He's
big-
pretty damn good.
There's like a big bounty on Spider-Man's head, so all these idiots
Right.
kind of start coming out of the woodwork trying to.
But something like that could work for a movie, with the Sinister Six. Like, I think it'd be interesting for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, we finished issue 2, which
so-
I thought was a good one.
Yeah. So we're into Bagley territory here. Like, again,
Yes.
Spider-Man looking
Mm,
as cool as ever.
I love Spider-Man. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love Mike
he's-
Bagley's Spider-Man.
Fantastic. Yeah. But this was essentially like a fight, right? This was mainly Spider-Man and the game taking on the Rhino and
Oh, yeah.
and all that.
Joystick. Yeah.
So yeah, that was
Joystick and Joystick's pal. I forget what his name is.
Polestar.
Polestar. Yeah, that's right. It is Polestar.
No
Yeah, that's
idea
right.
I thought
And
it was
some
going to be
pretty good scenes with Spider-Man like beating the shit out of Rhino in one scene. I'm looking
Oh,
at
yeah.
it now. Like,
I was waiting for Phil. Who was that other dude that was he had the mechanical things and he really loved the mechanical drones.
Armada.
Yeah, I thought that was
wow.
yeah, I thought this guy was going to be him, but he's some other nondescript boob.
Yeah, no.
So,
Yeah, Dave, pure 90s. Yeah, Armada
Yeah.
was a guy in armor, and he had like these little drones, and he called each one by a woman's name. Yeah.
Yeah, he loved
I
them.
love
Like he
it.
was visibly traumatized when someone
Oh,
blew
cool.
it. Yeah, but Joystick is pretty cool. She was featured earlier before, which is great. I just wish they had, because you got Rhino, you got Joystick. I wish they had not just introduced some other unknown person, like just give us someone that we know.
But it's very 90s to have people crashing in just for a fight.
Yeah. Well, and
it's kind of like a trope. I did like the appearance when they go to the hospital. You see, it's the female Doc Ock.
Yeah,
comes
the
in.
daughter of Seward Trainer. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah. We're gonna get that. I forget if it's next time or the time after, but yeah, that's good. Oh, that's coming.
yeah.
That'd be good. Yeah.
So Seward's still in a coma. I can't remember, Phil. Is he still roaming around in the cyber?
Oh, yeah. His
cyberspace?
brain is
Yeah.
still disconnected from
His
his body.
brain
Yeah.
is
Oh,
still
we're gonna
away.
deal with that soon. Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. When we
I'm
get
looking
cool.
forward to that. That looks good. That sounds
Yeah.
good.
Well, that
And is she the female Doc Ock? Am I right in saying she's a female Doc Ock?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. She's
What happened to the chick who was
yeah.
Doc Ock's like sort of girlfriend? She was like strong.
Stunner. I mean, she
Stunner. She's gone, right? She
get killed?
She
got-
was around for a while. She kind of just disappears from the Clone Saga, and I don't think.
Right.
Oh, she comes back. When they resurrect the original Doc Ock, she's in that story. And then you don't see her for years and years until Superior. She shows up in Superior Spider-Man.
I liked the death of the Doc Ock story. I thought that was a pretty cool storyline. When I read that, I thought it was pretty damn decent.
Yeah. But Stunner, Phil, was the VR one, right?
Yeah,
And she was trapped in the chair, and yeah. I thought she died. I thought didn't she die in that?
No. Like I said, she comes back when they
Okay.
resurrect the original.
I mean,
themselves.
comics, I guess.
Yeah.
Who dies?
No one really dies.
Yeah, that's true. But you get a Kaine and Rhino fight, and this again, you see Kaine. I mean, it makes sense. Like he's got the stick, his hands on the surface, but he's super strong as well. So you can tear that.
If Spider-Man can beat someone in a physical fight, Kaine can, because he's even stronger.
For some reason,
crazy
as his body's falling apart, his strength is increasing. Yeah.
Well,
Mark Bagley is king of the action.
Yes, that was the one I was looking at, man. That's the one I'm looking at. I love Mark Bagley's art, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even the following page as well. There is one page where Rhino looks a little bit dinky. His face, at I think the beginning, the first time you see him, this one.
Oh yeah, the face.
Like,
yeah,
it looks. I don't know if you can see it. But yeah, he looks a bit dinky, and I can't even see it. yeah.
Is it where he's saying "Sweet Mama"? Is that where you're talking?
No. It's his introduction where he busts in and he says, "Hope I haven't come at a bad time." Yeah, that one.
Oh right.
Yeah, it looks a bit weird. But other than that, yeah, I mean, Look, I can't even show you because it's Spider-Man looking awesome in that picture.
Oh yeah, just like hanging on the chimney.
Yeah.
There.
Oh, Bagley, just brilliant with that
wicked,
sort of
man.
stuff.
Really good artist, and I didn't realize because I got in when I really heavily got into Ultimate Spider-Man. I didn't realize just how big he'd been in the 90s as well.
Oh
you know?
yeah.
Oh,
right.
He's
he's all through Amazing Spider-Man and the Clone Saga.
Yeah. Wasn't he?
He's got some nice pictures here of some chicks in bikinis back at sometime later on the West Coast.
John Mayer. Was it not John Mayer? John was it? No, what's the name of his surname again? Something Mayer.
Yeah, it is a weird long
Oh,
name.
what the guy in charge? John,
the blonde guy.
It's like John Meyer or something, or James John Meyer or something.
James John Meyer, yeah, something like that.
And he keeps losing these bets. Like he's saying, would you prefer the Winter Palace, the Pagoda, or the Aegean Mansion?
Yeah.
So I think he's just constantly just losing bets. Maybe he's talking to. Oh no, he might be talking to Muse. Am I right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's like her payment, I think, for stringing Kaine along. Yeah, he's
no, he's backing Kaine. That's his baby.
Yeah,
sure.
It's pretty good.
Game with Kaine, I think. Yeah.
But
awesome.
Yeah, James Johnsmeyer, man. Spider-Man always has problems with these guys with double J names.
yeah.
Triple. Oh no.
I like it when Rhino's led away. They've got like the Force bracelets, those big armor kind of bracelets you always see, and
something around his neck, probably like a dampener or something.
Dampener, yeah, the good old dampener.
They make him weigh like 10 times, so he is weight, so he can't move or something.
What's the thing called? It's not Rikers. Isn't there
the Vault or the Raft?
Super villain?
It's in the Vault. It was the Vault in the 90s.
The Vault was in the 90s. Yeah,
because that's why I'm always complaining now. Because now it's the Raft, but it's like it made sense. The Vault made more sense in the 90s because it was out in the middle of Colorado,
middle of nowhere,
like in the middle of the woods, where like people, there was no one around. Now they do the Raft right off of New York City.
Why would you?
The biggest city in our country. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's a bit silly. Yeah. Keep him close.
Is the Raft in the MCU? Is it?
Right.
Yeah.
The Raft that's in the middle of the ocean, right?
Well, yeah, in the MCU, it's like in the middle of the ocean. That makes more sense. But yeah, in the comics, it's like right off off New York City. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if whoever invented the Raft or the Vault gets money for usage of that in the movies and stuff.
Yeah.
I wonder,
what in the movies and stuff? Because I don't know, man. There's people who create characters always complaining they don't get paid much.
That 5K, but I'm just saying, is that 5K going to anyone? Is it Bendis? Is Bendis like, hey, you know what? We should do the Raft, and then like 2001, and now he's getting 5K from it. And he's like, glad I came up with that idea like 20 years ago. Let's call it the Raft.
I mean, if you're not getting paid a lot for characters, I mean, if you invent like the Raft, you're probably getting like $5 and a sandwich or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they probably don't.
A coupon, food stamp or something.
Hello Fresh.
This coupon good at any McDonald's. Yeah.
Want to cash this in? Oh, that's hilarious. So we're basically up to episode 4, Return of Kaine.
This was my favorite. This was my favorite one. I thought because largely, and we sometimes knock it like with JR's art, but there's something with him and Spider-Man.
Iconic, Ray.
It is. It doesn't matter how good or big or epic the issue is.
That is cool. Yeah, that is my favorite thing for him to draw is Spider-Man. Maybe because that's how I was introduced to him. Yeah, I think that he does his best work on Spider-Man. Oh, and did you see this coming week? They're rebooted again. Amazing Spider-Man #1 is coming out with JR doing art.
Is that already is coming this week? Far out. It's
finally, yeah.
Oh well, I'll put that into the rotation. Who is writing that? Do you know?
Is it
Zeb Wells?
I think so. I think it's Zeb Wells.
Yeah. That rings a bell.
Right. And
there's something
that
Ray, were you planning on reading? Because I think by the first arc or so, did you see who's coming in? I saw a preview page with Tombstone.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I'm getting it for sure. I've got to put it.
See, it's on it.
I think I've got to put it on my. I don't know if I got Amazing Spider-Man on my
Well,
list.
I know you're collecting the one Ben. They were doing the whole Ben Reilly.
Yeah, I've got definitely for that. That's a mini though, right? The Ben Reilly one, is it?
Well, I mean, that
the
was in the
JMD
regular...
Mateus. Oh no,
that one. But I was gonna say when he was in the regular Amazing
yes,
issues. But yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Oh,
yeah.
Did you guys see the new leak about Ben Reilly?
No, what is it?
Oh, yes, with Chasm and he's with someone else. I can't remember.
Yeah, because I guess they leaked the page from the Spider-Man Free Comic Book Day issue that's not out yet.
Yeah,
and it's Ben Reilly standing there in his new identity talking to Madeline Pryor, the Goblin Queen.
Madeline Pryor, that's it. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're doing like a Spider-Man X-Men thing coming up here, but yeah.
That'd be right, her, yeah, from X-Men. I know.
the Goblin.
The hardly there black costume.
Oh, cool. That'd be cool.
And do you know about Ben Reilly now, Dave? Like the
Not
big
much.
thing.
I mean, I know he came back or something and was
Well,
Spider-Man
now
or something
he's kind of gone totally evil. He's now called Chasm.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, and a lot of Ben Reilly fans are up in arms. I am as well, Dave. I'm banging on the door. Like, we've been waiting for Ben Reilly for.
You're demanding the head of Tom Brevoort, like I do constantly.
Yeah, there's got to be some sort there. That's Chasm. Like he's now like he had even beyond that arc was so good. It was dealing with him so well, and then they just in the last issue literally just kind of turned him into.
I'm not happy.
Stuff it. Yeah, it's a bit.
I'm not happy, but I also wasn't supporting the title with him as Spider-Man. Whereas I am old-fashioned, and Ray knows this. I like my Spider-Man to be Peter Parker, and I like him to be, really, it needs to be Peter Parker, and I like JR on art duties, and give me that. But I'm not a fan of Ben Reilly being turned evil. That's stupid.
No. Yeah, I mean, at least give Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider. Give him a title, Scarlet Spider. He doesn't have to be Spider-Man. He can.
I think the problem, Ray, is they've given him a titles, and they probably haven't done that well. Like Peter David was writing a title not that long ago.
I love that title. That was
No, I'm not saying
we'll get there eventually. Yeah,
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I think that's the problem, though, that they just seem to not sell that well. I guess.
No, you're right. You're right. I don't think it did that well in sales and stuff. But
again, like I always say, I'm like, you could do anything with him. You could drop him in a different city. Any wacky idea they won't let you do with Peter Parker, you can do with Ben Reilly.
Exactly. Yeah, they're saying that someone was saying that there's just too many spider people, so Ben
was that
ended
Richard?
Up on the cutting
that's
flue.
Fucking Richard just constantly. Oh, they're diluting the well. There's too many spider people. There's so good. It's like. Dude, it's because the Spider-Man franchise is so huge.
Yeah, you can still have him. Like, I don't see why you have to relegate him to a villain. Although someone also did say that he's been here before, right? Ben Reilly is a couple of times actually. Even the clone conspiracy.
Danced with the dark side a couple of times.
Yeah. So it's nothing.
Look, you know what I would have done? I know it's easy to kind of be a Monday morning quarterback, but like. Maybe change his suit up so it doesn't look like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And not make him evil, but put him as Phil just said, a different city. They did it with Venom in the 90s. I many times like do some stuff with him. Maybe put him in a team. How about that? Put him in a team.
That's what I was saying.
X-Men or something like that. Like there's lots of things you could do with him, I think.
Let's do something on the West Coast. Let's do some kind of West Coast Avengers or something.
He'd be perfect. He'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Anything's better than just like anything's better than just he's evil now. And it's to me, it's such a stunt. And I don't think anyone I don't think people on the street even know who Ben Reilly is outside of comics. So to turn him evil isn't this thing that's going to drive people into stores.
No. They're not going to go, oh my God, can you believe he's evil now?
I think they're just trying to drag it out because they're milking the 90s for all it's worth these days. Because did you see the new miniseries that's coming up? I guess Peter David's writing that the new Fantastic Four from the 90s.
The new
Grey Hulk, Wolverine, and Ghost Rider.
Whoa!
I'm gonna get that, Dave. You got to get that.
That sounds like the greatest thing of all time.
I said Peter David writing Grey Hulk
miniseries. It's a rehash. Not a rehash, but it's very common with Marvel. Their writing miniseries is set in that time, but like
Yeah.
stories that you
Yes.
haven't heard of. Like,
I think it's a really good idea. I think it's a great idea.
Because that's what I was going to say, Dave. That they're doing a Ben Reilly 5-issue miniseries right now, set in the '90s, written by J.M.D. Mateus.
No, I'm reading it. I'm reading it, and we've got questions. I'm reading it because we've got questions for him for our interview, and I think it's really good. We've really been enjoying it.
No,
we were
Larry...
talking to him yesterday. We kind of wandered over to that, and he's like, oh yeah, he's like, it's like a friend you haven't talked to in a long time, and you dive back in, and it's like you never spend any time apart. Oh, he's loving it.
Yeah, and the legend Larry Hummer is doing a patch one of Wolverine.
Yes, patch. Yeah, exactly.
I haven't read that yet, but
it's good. Yeah. It's good. I
dug
it heavily. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I look, frankly, they're actually right to do this kind of shit, like to capitalize on a period because the stuff was good. It was iconic, and a lot of the creators they're not dead. They're still productive. And can still, you know what I mean? They're still got it. So why not milk it? You know?
Yep.
Like, dude,
absolutely.
The new Fantastic Four, I'm down for that in a heartbeat. Yeah.
And also as well, Phil, you got me onto X-Men Legends, was it?
Yeah, you know what? They're rebooting that, the Tube, which I don't understand why. Because X-Men Legends, like every 2 to 3 issues, Dave, it's a different X-Men story from different eras.
Yeah, it's good.
By the writers, so they had
Peter.
Yeah,
was
it
Peter
David as well?
Like the Peter David X Factor. I know.
Exactly.
Ray loves that. He's X Factor.
I love that.
Have you got all the omnibuses, Ray?
I haven't got it. No, they've only got the one omnibus, but I've got all the epics so far. It's gold.
Oh, you know what's good? What's good? I just picked up yesterday. I picked up I think it's only 5 issues in. I picked them up yesterday. The new Black Panther series. That's good.
Oh, right. I heard about that. T'Challa goes to war or something against the Wakanda.
No, it's interesting because he had spies planted in all these major cities, and someone found out and it's killing off all these spies and stuff. Yeah,
that's actually a good idea. That's a good idea.
Who's writing it?
John Ridley.
Oh yeah, I know him. Yeah.
No,
he
it's
did
good.
That really. He's done a few really good things actually that I've read. That sounds interesting. I'm not the biggest Black Panther fan in the world, but that actually sounds like an interesting concept for sure.
Yeah, because I heard
really good.
Yeah, because it's tying with the Avengers in the fact that Black Panther's leaving the Avengers. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, he's I got too much going on here. I can't.
Yeah. And Nighthawk, Dave, he's coming into the Avengers.
Good for Nighthawk, getting a bump up. He spent a lot of time in the reserve leagues.
Very much. A long time.
The newest Nighthawk, because there's been 20 million Nighthawks.
Oh, the newest one,
all named Cal Richmond. Yeah.
But the latest one was really good. That David F. Walker. That one was good. That was really good. Yeah.
You know what? I should read a lot more modern Marvel than I do. I've kind of we kind of have on Signal focused a lot more on DC. But I really should sample more of this modern Marvel stuff because, like you say, there's some good stuff coming out. You've just got to kind of pick it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of there's so much
stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot of content just coming out all the time.
And some of it's good. Some of it's catered for specific people and specific tastes, but you can find some really good stuff as well.
I tell you a good one that I read. Peter David did a Maestro miniseries.
Oh, he's still doing it.
He's still doing it. There's a few. Yeah, I forget this.
There's a trilogy. House of M. Is it House?
It's pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
Like what I've read is good.
World War M right now, Ray.
World War M. Sorry.
Yeah. Because that storyline.
There's 3 different miniseries, and this is the third one, because we got Old Namor showed up.
Do you guys like it? Because what I've read, I've enjoyed. Yeah, because I think that storyline he did back in the '90s was one of the best storylines I'd ever. Future Perfect. I thought it was fantastic. You know,
I'll read Peter David Hulk all the time.
Yeah.
He took on if you can indulge me again. He took on the future Hercules. You saw that in the How cool was that? And Hercules beat the crap out of him.
Oh yeah, he had to basically use trickery to beat him.
You enjoyed that, Ray.
Yeah, he got Vapor, I think, from memory, right?
For the UFOs. Yeah,
he got her to poison him. Yeah. But it was really cool. I mean, you get all these old. You got Doctor Doom. That's a great series at the moment. Yeah.
And that's something I want to check out more fully on Marvel Unlimited. Because all that stuff comes online like only a couple of months, like 3 or 4 months later.
3 months, about 3 months, I think. Yeah,
which is pretty good.
It is.
We're just looking for that sponsorship money from Marvel, and we'll push it all the way.
Yeah.
I think all three of us, if we ever can get that sponsorship.
Every time we mention Marvel Unlimited on our show, we're just like, hey, sponsorship.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a great service, man. Like I should use it a lot more than I do, but when I do start using, I'm like, man, there's so much stuff on here, and it's really I don't think that expensive.
Overwhelming,
I think it's very reasonable.
Yeah.
It is a bit overwhelming. Yeah, I agree.
Because I'll read stuff I never read before, but like even for this show, if I don't want to go downstairs into my massive files and pull out those floppies, I'm just like, I'll just look it up on Marvel Unlimited and use that.
Why not?
Dave, Phil's got like a huge boulder that comes down if he goes down to that basement, and he's got like shooting darts as yesterday.
No, I'll make the super
traverse.
I got a giant Thor, a huge key. I got a
key. Yeah. You got crypto in there, just curled up by the fire.
Yeah. It's got a huge dinosaur in there. Yeah.
But no, Ray, have you been reading Jen McKay's Strange series? It's only like 2 issues in.
No, I haven't actually. I don't have enough money to follow all these things, but I've heard it's really good. I'm going to be getting
because Stephen Strange is dead. It's Clea, and she's like more of a badass than he was. So
well, it's also I think issue 5. It's got Shadow Knight. I'm gonna try and Randall Specter. It's got Randall Specter's there. So
I mean, last page of issue 1, and then going into issue 2, Zombie Thunderstrike showed up. I'm just like,
oh, what?
Really? That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. I know. Like Jen McKay, man, he knows his stuff.
Yeah, he's cool. I tell you a really cool title. Dave, I know you're reading it. Ghost Rider, Benjamin Percy.
That's good.
Oh, that book is so good.
Off the charts. That is brilliant. The nice
horror. Like horror,
so good.
No, it's good.
So good. Yeah.
Benjamin Percy, I should mention, I've read a couple of things that he did at AWA Studios. I think it's called Year Zero. It's a zombie series. It's excellent. He's a really good writer.
He's great. He's good.
He also wrote the recent he's writing Wolverine, and he wrote that X Lives and X Deaths, which I actually found quite interesting. He's a good writer.
Yeah. He also wrote the audio drama, The Long Night or something, Wolverine for Stitcher.
Yeah.
So that was
he did.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah, Dave, was that you? I saw like that classic original Ghost Rider series, because this new one kind of reminds me of that series.
Oh, I love the original series, man. Yeah.
Did you read? Have you finished the original series?
The one with James DeMatteis.
I was going to say, like, last 14 issues of that are DeMatteis.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah. I'm reading it because I've got a question for him for Ghost Rider, and I'm just like, it's so good. Like, it's just, I love that original Johnny Blaze stuff. So,
me too. Especially those last DeMatteis issues. I love how he writes throughout those. Oh my god.
Yeah, they're good. You know who I would have loved? It's so sad that he's dead. Michael Fleischer, who did a lot of Ghost Rider and a lot of Jonah Hex and stuff. If this was 20 years ago, I would have loved to have got him on the Signal of Doom. If we could somehow resurrect him, Ray, through some dark arts, maybe, get Khonshu involved.
Wait, talk to Khonshu. Maybe he could turn the sky backwards.
Turn the sky around and all that kind of stuff. And I only need him alive. I only need him alive for 45 minutes. That's all I need.
Back in your box.
Mr.
Fleischer.
But Ray, if you have not read those last couple issues of the original Ghost Rider, but DeMatteis, you have to read them. There's just there's like a 2-parter where he just like trashes the Circus of Crime.
Wow.
Yeah, it's awesome. Okay. Yeah, it's really good. It's fun. It's a lot of fun, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Phil, but I believe he had been told they were going to cancel the title, so he structured it all.
I think so. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
Because I didn't get to talk to him a lot, but I think I did mention real briefly. I'm just like, how much notice did you get? Yeah, he said he had enough time where he was able to work it out. So he's like, I can tie everything up pretty.
And I had the main man, Don Perlin, on art for the beginning.
Wow.
Of the show.
Yeah.
But that was we're talking in the 70s, 80s, right? Still, so.
Yeah.
It was like early 80s when that issue.
Early 80s. Don Perlin's still alive and kicking.
I know. 94.
I asked him. 92, I believe. I asked him on the show, and he said, "Catch me in the summer." And I said, "Okay."
I hope so.
Just hoping, Don. But yeah, no, we'd love to have him on Signal. But even to be at that age on the internet talking to people, like, that's impressive.
I know. I'm just impressive that a 92-year-old knows how to use this. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would have cashed out and just given up and just been, watching the fucking cricket or baseball or something on TV. Like, I mean, he's interacting with these guys from Australia. Yeah. No. Yeah. And I've actually maybe he liked it because my icon on Facebook is Don Perlin's Ghost Rider.
Oh,
so maybe he was like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So should we cover the final issue, guys?
Yes.
Endgame?
Yeah, the final one.
Yeah.
I mean, so who wrote this one?
Howard Mackey.
Howard Mackey. Howard
Mackey, yeah. Okay,
I've got to say, immediately striking, John Romita, the way he portrays Kaine in that splash page, awesome. It's just no detail, just the kind of the veins or whatever.
Yeah, that is true, actually, yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, very cool.
And Muse looks pretty good, too.
Yeah,
he draws a good
she
Muse.
does.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know, how do you best summarize this? It's a culmination of a lot of things. Basically, there's a relationship between Muse and Kaine. It's J. Jonah Jameson trying to get, trying to find who.
I'm ashamed to call you newspaper people. Get out. I'm ashamed to call you. You're like, thanks, boss. he just dismisses them from the room.
But then he knows exactly what to do. He calls this mysterious person.
I really did think that was going to be Eddie Brock. I was sort of disappointed. Like,
I was kind of thinking, who could it be? I didn't think it would have been Peter Parker, but yeah.
No.
But it makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah.
No, it does.
Eddie Brock was busy having miniseries after miniseries after miniseries.
Yeah, he was certainly he was certainly out there. Because
we were talking about that with DeMatteis yesterday about just bringing in certain characters over and over, because Venom used to be like a once a year guy, and then the 90s hitting it. I'm like that's all for like money, right? And DeMatteis is like, oh yeah, in the 90s he's like Venom, he's like, on holographic covers, you remember those, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. So but
there's the good scene with Kaine taking off the mask, Ray. That was a pretty good scene.
Well, there's a whole thing culmination with him because he starting to fall for Muse. She reminds him of Kennedy, which was we saw Phil Wright Kennedy, from the Secret Years.
The Lost Years.
Oh, the Lost Years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I remembered that, and then but then he gets kind of really betrayed by her because it's like, oh, she's been setting him up all along, and so he's almost there to kind of kill her straight away. The guy's really torn.
He's on the edge. He's on the edge, Ray. He's an on the edge guy. It's kind of like me after about 17 coffees at 2 a.m. after you've been recording for about 4 hours, and like suddenly it's hard to work out who's friend, who's an enemy sometimes. Right,
exactly. Well, I mean, Muse as well is kind of saying that she has developed some sort of thing for him as well, and it started out as a just all kind of business with the guy's James John Meyer or whatever.
That long guy, and then some sex got involved, Ray, I dare say, and some romance,
a bit of rumpy pumpy with Kaine.
A bit of physical got involved, and trying to relieve his pain. The only way she knew how,
Yeah, that's it. But here, Phil, you're talking about, she's got, again, so she's got some sort of concussive blast that I really want to read her wiki, what she can or can't do, because she can do like anything, it seems. But
she's clearly a mutant. She's got a mutant, but she doesn't have full control over her telekinetic power. She actually says that. She says she doesn't like to use it.
I can control of my concussive elements of my power. Like, she shows what she can do if she was not holding back. She like takes out half the facade of a building.
Yeah. I don't think they bother with an origin or anything. So I think this is like her last appearance.
And her as you said, like her sling is gone.
No, it was a fake out, right? It was a fake out.
Yeah.
She never really had a bad. I mean, Spider-Man gives her a good hit here. I'm watching here. He just full on, like, just gives her a massive left hook from what I
like when they're falling into
that's Kaine, though. That's Kaine.
Was it Kaine? I thought that was her.
When they're falling into the building, they're like, someone catch her, and she's like, no, I don't need you guys.
Yeah. But this essentially really is just what it has on the tin. It's Ben Reilly, v Kaine at the end with a little bit of muse in between.
Hmm.
It was a big showdown, a little bit more of the game, what they have going, and the betrayal of Muse to Kaine, and then the little bit at the end with Peter Parker, which I think was a great way to end it. Like it
Yeah.
kind of just opens up.
That's an excellent ending.
things.
And can I ask a question though? I was unsure when she says goodbye, Spider-Man. I sure hope you're as good and fast as I think you are. Otherwise, I'm going to make an awful mess down there. And she just jumps off the thing, and then he. Why does she do that? Like I don't.
I think
understand.
to let Kane get away.
Yes. So Spider-Man goes after her, and
Because
then
she
Kaine
knows
slips away.
Going to save people. So yeah,
I
she's
see.
Yeah,
Right.
so
Thank you. And one thing about Signal of Doom listeners will know is I often need very simple plot elements explained in comics because I get confused very easily, especially at the end of a long, drawn out sort of miniseries. But I will say this: I was quite surprised to see Peter Parker, Mary Jane, and I agree with you, Phil. I definitely think the regime had said we need to get Peter Parker back. In action, you know.
Well, that's the thing. They wanted to get rid of his marriage. That's why they brought in Ben Reilly, and they're like, oh hey, now we can have a single Spider-Man again. That's why they faked you out, making you think he's the real Peter Parker. But it's like, but they never had a way of reinserting him into that Peter Parker role because it's like, well, Peter and Mary Jane are about to have a kid, so he lets him have the Peter identity. It's like there's no way to plug him back into his old life. So it's like, I guess they were just like, no, go back.
Can I do a round table of you guys? And we'll start with you, Phil, and then get a. What do you think of Peter Parker, Mary Jane? Do you prefer them married, or do you prefer them single and dating, or just single? I mean, do you have any preference?
Oh, I am very preferential to that marriage. Yeah, no, I mean,
yeah, cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, I started really reading in like 1988. They were like a year into that marriage because I think some people at Marvel were like, "Oh no, it ages him and stuff." I mean,
I didn't see it as a problem.
At 10 years old, I didn't care. I'm like, "Oh, cool, he has a wife," you know.
I've always thought of them because I like you. When I came into reading Spider-Man, she was firmly ensconced, married. Didn't even question it. You know what I mean? I'm like, what is the big deal? About it?
To me, it surprised me to find out later on about Gwen Stacy because for me, Peter Parker and MJ were the item from the
because we grew up
as far as I knew,
late 80s or whatever into the 90s, and it seems weird. It feels it's more like almost like at a board level or at a top editorial level. They think there's a big problem, and I'm like, is there really a problem?
I don't. Not really. I don't see one.
But they clearly thought so because this was the whole reason that it got ditched, and they've done it since. I mean, they have continued to sort of dance around this topic in the last 20 years, haven't they? Like that one point they had the Mephisto and everything.
Is it just another technique, like just another thing they can do to manipulate? You know, the same as they kind of kill off characters, the death of Doctor Strange, the death of Wolverine. It's just something that they do, maybe just like put Peter and MJ on the rocks. I mean, just to keep things interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, but in this case, they went all the way in.
Yeah, they got rid of the marriage. I mean, they still get back together, they'll date, but it's like, they got rid of
the marriage is right. Yeah.
I just wondered because I know you guys are big Spider-Man fans. I just wondered what your opinion was. But you're both pro-marriage.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Me too. So it's funny. We have three of us coming in from separate angles, and we're all saying, pro-marriage. It's not even a big deal. You know?
No, exactly.
Like, I mean,
would the movies have something? Would the movies have something to do with it, like reintroducing Gwen, and now the comics going, okay, well, maybe we should just.
And Black Cat, they like to tease Black Cat a little bit as well. But is it?
And she's always.
I like Black Cat, you know. But is it
she's
worth
always
it
been
for just that?
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, the popularity of Black Cat, dare I say, her profile has lifted more, right? Maybe it hasn't. I mean, she's always had miniseries, so.
And again, she had Jen McKay was writing that book for a while. I mean, it was great because you really didn't have to do Spider-Man. I mean, she was all over with everybody else. You know,
I think she's a great character, Black Cat. Don't get me wrong, but I think she's a great character. But did you need to abandon the whole marriage just so he could flirt with Black Cat? It doesn't feel like it's worth it, you know?
Yeah,
no.
Like you could still have a bit of flirtation without it being.
Oh yeah,
the marriage is over. You know, like it's not like he's not like a monk or something. You know, I don't know.
Again, they think it ages the character somehow being married, and I'm like, I don't know about down
Well,
there, but here you can get married when you're 18. It's like, so what?
Yeah.
So what?
Well, actually, but having look at the last panel of this issue, though, they do look really old. I don't know about you.
do.
Mary Jane's hairdo and Peter Parker, they just, I don't know what's happening.
It's classic JR, just, like throwing it
Yeah.
together and, not spending too much time on it.
Yeah, but you're right. I mean, Phil, we don't associate marriage with, old people. It's weird.
I think some characters, this is my honest belief. I think some characters it fits and it's fine. And I think Mary Jane and Spider-Man were together long enough from the 80s until so recently, in quotes, that it's ingrained in the public consciousness. And it doesn't matter. I think if you marry Batman tomorrow, there's more of a discussion. I still think they could have done that marriage with Catwoman, but it's more of a character shift because he hasn't been married since the 40s. Whenever it was.
Didn't he get married? What happened to Catwoman?
No, they
that whole thing
aisle,
didn't happen.
They screwed it up in the worst. I won't even bore you, Ray, but you obviously don't listen to Signal, Ray, because we've discussed it many times.
Yeah, Ray.
No, I block out anything to do with Batman.
Yeah. No, it's basically at the she left him at the what do you call it, at the aisle. Whatever you call it, at the
I think I remember that
ceremony. She left him.
I said they're never going to marry him off. So I said they should just, if they're going to do it with Nightwing and
Yeah, but I could have.
I mean, they make
but
I
I think you could have done it
as a kid, so that's a big thing.
No, I honestly, as a Batman reader who accepted the kid, who at first thought when I heard Grant Morrison was doing a kid, I thought it was going to suck, and I like Grant Morrison, but it was excellent, and I think a good writer who knew what they were doing could get quite a few good years out of a Batman Catwoman relationship. But I'm sorry, Tom King completely fumbled the ball. Completely dropped the ball on the whole thing. It was a disgrace, And
so it's
and I've never
a pure gimmick. Then this lead up to get the big sales for that issue. Then
it was, and Ray, he betrayed the fan base. He betrayed Batman. He did, and believe you me, I'm doing a very toned down version of my dislike for the storyline because I'm on someone else's podcast. But you know where I stand, Ray.
Hey, you know how Ray feels about Batman.
Ray,
my favorite character.
I mean, somewhere in the womb, someone did something to Ray, and it was like no for Batman. He was just like, no, it's not happening. At some point in his life, Batman scarred him personally. I don't know what happened.
It was just not to be. That,
oh my God!
Shailed.
I don't know if either of you guys will listen to it, but for April 1st, one of our April 1st episodes, Lilith and I did a different Earth version of our Justice League podcast, and on Earth 3, Ray is the biggest Batman fan. He's the most popular Batman podcast on the internet.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
He's wearing Batman bling all the time. He goes around his Batman cap and his Batman t-shirt. He's Batman booties.
He podcasts in that mask. Yeah,
it sounds like an alternate reality.
I'm Batman. Yeah, no, it's. I would have loved to have been back when Ray was at school and he was having the debates with his friend who was a Wolverine fan, and because I love both.
I was a Wolverine fan. You
were the Wolverine fan, and your mate was the Batman fan. But as the debate was going back and forth, I would have loved to have been the mediator because I'm a fan of both of those characters. So would have been like, Ray makes a good point. How do you respond?
Exactly.
So out of 10, what are we giving this whole thing? Start with you, Phil.
I give it a solid 8. I mean, I enjoyed it. Again, sometimes I thought the plot kind of meandered, but I mean, it was. Again, we got some impressive art. Bagley, Romita. It's again, maybe it's just nostalgia because I've been reading this since the 90s. So
yeah, true. Yeah, that would play a big part as well. Dave, how about you? What do you?
Look, enjoyable enough to read, and it was a pleasure to come on and a pleasure to bother reading in the first place. So that was all a pleasure. I did find overall it was a little average. I'd probably give it a 6, but I will say, as we were rereading it then and discussing it, I really noticed how strong the art is a lot of the time, and the art's much more than a 6. The art's like an 8. I really enjoyed the artwork, and I enjoyed bits and pieces of the story. 6 to a 6.5. I'd probably mark it a 6 overall, but definitely a couple of issues there were a 7. So it never really took off for me, but it was enjoyable nonetheless to read.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of echoing Dave's a little. I gave it a 6.5. I think.
Yeah.
We have a fair few arcs similar to this as well, but for this one in particular, I think I like Kaine and all that, and individually some issues, warrant a higher score because the art again, but I think just I like the game aspect, but with Kaine and Muse, I don't know, just something just felt a little flat with this. I was going through all 4 issues again, trying to kind of distill in my mind what was happening, and I did, and it was just very simple. Like, it was a very simple premise. You could really summarize all 4 issues, in maybe a couple of sentences, in the sense that there are a couple of side plots as well. Very little with Carol and Trainer, and J. Jonah Jameson. That's interesting as well. But mainly, we get Ben Reilly and his crew. You still get this mystery about the skeleton, which is cool. So I guess that will be kind of unraveled soon. But
so that's
mainly
still going, isn't it? That's
that's going to be going for a while. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the main players are Kaine and Muse and James John Meyer and Ben Reilly. Yeah, just I don't know. It seemed to lack it. You're talking about, Dave, about the trial of Peter Parker. That was a lot more. I think they had a lot more meat to it. Yeah, so 6.5.
Maybe would you think? I'm just thinking, like, it's almost like they spun it out a bit. Like, it could have been a 2 or 3-parter, but because they're doing all the titles, it was made a 4-parter because they're trying to feed, something like
potentially
Spider-Man comic content. They're doing a weekly comic, which is what Spider-Man was. You've got to just pump it full of content all the time, so inevitably stuff gets stretched.
Yeah. The Mark
That's
Bagley issue, The Amazing Spider-Man, was, I think, the amazing art, but it was really just a fight. So I think there was a bit of filler there. Yeah.
Sure.
Like, they probably gave notes. It's like, got to start here, got to end here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're all good.
Look, I had a good time. What's up next, Phil? Like, for Ultimate Spider-Cast?
Next.
We're doing.
All right, next month we're going to do 5 issues. First, we'll do Spectacular Spider-Man 232. We're going to get Lady Octopus. That's the Lady Octopus issue. So we're going to start off with that.
I love it, Dave.
And then the 4-part story.
Yeah,
Sensational Spider-Man 3, Amazing Spider-Man 410, Spider-Man 67, and Spectacular Spider-Man 233. A 4-part story, Web of Carnage.
Yes.
Yes.
I won't spoil who's going to show up in that story, but yes, Web of Carnage.
Well, that
Morbius.
sounds like fun. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
And
so this is still the Clone Saga is still ongoing because it's literally.
Oh yeah, we're going in order. We're going in order.
Yeah, that's the chronology.
Yeah. This is cool. Okay. And you know what I'll do? I can between now and next month to at least finish off the Clone Saga, because I'm, as I said, I'm up to the end of the trial, so I'm continuing reading, so I have a bit of background of what's going on, because it's good stuff, man, and it's a pleasure to do with you guys, and it's fun to. This is all first time for me, so I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's good.
It's great to have you, Dave. This maniac Ray, man. It's nice to have someone else to keep him under control.
It's great. You got to let him. He likes to sacrifice to Khonshu. He's happy,
That's it.
That's all.
That's it. It's turning the night sky.
All that animal blood on his face. I mean, people should watch it. I mean, come on.
The skin. I like to wear a face.
Oh yeah.
I like a bit of a callback there, Ray. Good to see, man.
Yep. Thank you.
Have you had that guy on? That writer?
Oh, Charlie Houston.
Houston?
No, I think. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think Houston or might be Mike Benson, but yeah, one of I haven't had either.
Oh, you haven't?
I've tried with Houston. No. I think Houston's
a novelist, I think, as well, isn't he? He's
a novelist. I think he's doing. I might be getting him mixed up with Hurwitz, but he's doing TV now as well.
Right.
Like he's doing writing for some TV. It's hard to crack into that industry. Like to talk to people there. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. For those of you who are confused, let Jed McKay explain this to you.
Moon Knight, a guy who runs around in a white outfit, relieving people of their facial features.
Well, that's it. That's it. That's in a nutshell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I've got a question before we go. Ray, this is what I was talking about with Richard. In the show, okay, the Moon Knight show, is Moon Knight or Mark Spector actually crazy with the what do you call it, like the mental issues?
DID, yeah.
Or is that core? Like, does he have that as just as a person? Like anyone could have it, like I could have it, or is that caused by Khonshu? Is there an answer to that question?
Anyone? I mean, it is a real disorder. DID.
No, I mean for the character.
Well, don't they always keep it vague in the comics where it's like, he could just have a normal condition. It could be Khonshu.
That's what I thought. Yeah. That's what I thought.
Well, it's different in the show. Sorry, you mean the TV show?
Yes.
It's a hard one to say. I think it is ambiguous because I get it mixed up with the comic book series because Jed McKay definitely separates the two, and you have DID and you have this other thing which he calls superhuman menticide, which is where Khonshu has given him like brain damage, or it has affected his brain. So yeah. But I think in the show, I think it's ambiguous. You don't know. Yeah.
Well, so the answer is vague, is what we came up with. But I thought by bringing in a scholar that is right, have it.
Well, he says though. Mark does say in episode 2, he says that that they had walls between them. So he was managing for the last 10 years or so his condition. He knew of Stephen. He had walls. He can control him, but only recently, and I don't know how recently is, those walls have come down. And that's why we see in episode 1, Stephen's having more of a prominent feature, and he seems to be able to intrude in on Mark and vice versa. So I think the DID is always there, but there's another aspect to it, like with Khonshu. I think that's might be separate.
That's a good answer. All right. Well, thank you, Ray.
Ray only got the first 4 episodes to review. He's right with everyone else now.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited.
He's back with the mortals. He's just back with the normal people now. Like,
I saw the end of episode 4, and I was like, I saw the end of episode 4. I'm like, how has Ray been sitting on this for weeks? I'm like, I would have been like, oh, you guys gotta watch this.
Oh my god, it's 3 or 4 weeks.
See the Moon Knight show come up and script consultant Ray. Come up and special advisor, Ray.
No. But no, it's fun. That's good. It's a good show.
No, it is.
All right.
I agree.
All right, let's get out of here. All right, kids. So send your thoughts. Web of Carnage in 1 month. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. Even if you have questions for Dave or Batman's #1 fan down there, send your questions in. Find links to all the social medias for all the shows we're doing. Oh, did you see the big news, Ray? Charlie and I were not going to do Super.
Yeah, I saw it.
Marvel show or Avengers show. Yes.
So get in on that. Yeah.
Hey, you're welcome. I told you, man. Anytime you want.
What are you doing?
We're Charlie and I are going to be doing like an Avengers themed show, either like a we'll pick something old and then we'll do review any like new Avengers books, but it could be like a team book. It could even be just like something solo, like we want to.
I know Dave
at some point.
I know Dave loves Vision, so Dave, you could do Vision.
Where do you find the time for this, Phil? Like, I mean, how many shows you do? I lose count. You for everything.
I mean, I'm podcasting almost. I mean, I take like a day or 2 off during the week, but I'm most nights I'm podcasting and sleep. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, who knows what sleep?
Say to the wife, I'm busy. I'm doing I'm doing an Avengers show, and she's glazing over.
Well, we kind of ended one show, and then we started. We're gonna. The count.
You're replacing.
The count is staying the same. Yeah, we just switched one for another. So.
Show.
What?
Sorry?
You do show? No,
you're breaking up. What?
Yes,
yeah, we do a few.
Oh, sorry, am I breaking up? I was just thinking, do you do an X-Men show based on the X-Men?
No.
You don't,
I wish we don't have time. I know Lilith and I did a few episodes on the X-Men, but I mean, just time and.
If you ever do, I'm available. If you ever do, I'm available. That's all I'm saying.
I will keep you in mind, sir. Thank you. All right, so links to all the social media, links to this. Find a link to the YouTube channel. Again, you want to see what Ray looks like.
No, you don't. Don't worry.
Smash that subscribe button so you don't miss a moment.
Good-looking man, very good-looking man.
Nah, face for radio.
Hey, he's very good looking for an older man. Okay.
Aged. West Tigers supporter.
Oh yes, go Tigers.
Hey man, I've heard a few women say they want autographed photos of you, Ray, holding onto your walker. You know.
Exactly.
So links to the Patreon again. Please, if you can, please subscribe. Get early access to creator interviews. Mr. DG Chichester, Lilith and I talk to him every month.
I got the good mic out for you guys.
And superhero movie brackets. We will find the worst superhero movie of all time. We're gonna crown a Marvel winner next week, and then we're gonna get to some DC movies. So that or merchandise.
That's one, isn't it? Worst movies.
So we're watching a bunch of crap movies. Yeah.
How far did it go? Did it last a while?
What? Oh, we're good. I mean, this will be like all this year, so.
Right.
Because we did a bunch of Marvels, then we're going to do some DCs, then we're just going to do some ones that are like comic books, but they're not Marvel or DC. So.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. So so find everything. What?
I was just saying you're a busy man.
Busy
man. Yeah. Sign up for his Patreon, guys. You gotta support him. He's putting things out there for you.
All right, so Linktree, linktr.ee/CapesandLunatics. All right, Dave, where can people find Signal of Doom and all the stuff you're doing?
Oh, Signal of Doom is a weekly show that I do with my friend Richard. Basically, we're on all our platforms, Stitcher, iTunes, etc. We're doing cinema reviews on Patreon, and we do Doom, which is a monthly thing we do. We review old movie stuff. And you can find Signal of Doom on Twitter and on Facebook. You can signal them. You can join up the Facebook page. Yeah, we have a hell of a good time. It's pop culture. It's comics and comic book movies. We take a fairly lighthearted approach. Take a few shots at a few people that need it. And we keep it going. So keep on killing is the Signal of Doom man. So enjoy it, kids, and thank you very much for having me on.
Hey, no problem. All right, Ray, do you do any podcasts? You want to tell people about
anything at all?
Look, the easiest way to contact me is on Rey Pod. It's on Twitter, so REY Pod, and I'm happy to chat comic books and all sorts of geeky stuff with anyone. Ben Reilly, of course. But I also do other stuff like Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast, To Know Her Is to Fear Her, the Spider-Woman podcast, or Last Sons of Krypton, a Superman podcast. So, drop me a line. And, a little plug to Happiness in Darkness. I just recorded with Nick. We went through Darkman, one of my guilty indulgences.
That's cool.
Yeah,
the movie, right? The movie,
the movie,
Liam Neeson up the scenery,
yeah.
That's a fun movie, man. Yeah,
it is a great film. When I say great, I mean in its context. It's not like
it's fun. It's a fun film, man.
It is. It's fun. Yeah. So go check that out.
Blaze Up. Blaze Up. What's that?
Sorry, was that?
I said Blaze Up. What's that, man? You smoking
that
one?
Oh, absolutely. Blaze Up.
Okay, Lil.
Exactly. But big shout out to DJ Nick, great host of Happiness in Darkness. It's a really fun podcast.
So Ray does a few podcasts.
Go ahead, throw it in. The Hard Master.
All right. All right. Thank you to these gentlemen. Thank you for listening.
Cheers, guys.
Again, Wolf and I will be doing some Doctor Strange coming up here. I wonder why. And so then in 1 month, Web of Carnage.
Yeah,
It'll
that's
be
where it's
full
at.
90s.
Forget Doctor Strange. That's where it's at. Web of Carnage.
Web
Jesus
of
Christ.
Carnage.
All right, kids, swing on back. Whip.